What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's full-time reaction to Celtic 5, Raith Rovers 0. I've got Callum and Stuart with me to go through it. Callum into the next round of the Cup, playing sailing, 9 changes, but dominated, didn't they?
Aye, Raith Rovers never really shown anything that kind of like Falkirk did obviously in the League Cup in earlier months. It was kind of like routine, and I thought it was probably a really good result considering how many changes we've done. Again, the Falkirk game we made a few changes and we were 2-1 down at half time, so we didn't really want to see that replicated in this game, but I thought it was a real professional, there was a real eagerness to get on the ball, and it was like players were trying to show the manager that can I play. Because I think at the start of that, if I'm right, you only had Daizen Maeda, Callum McGregor, who else, and Kuhn. Probably the only three that would start with. I know Daizen's suspended, but if he wasn't, they're the only three in that starting 11 that would play. Everybody else would be replaced. The only one is Bernardo that could maybe, if he had a really good game today, could force his way into the team. But it's going to be Engels and Hatate. They're the more seasoned pros, and we've trusted them throughout this process, so where we've got to, so they do deserve to play on Wednesday, and they will. But I thought everybody actually chipped in pretty well. Fair play to Raith as well, because I thought they were quite energy. At the start, they gave a lot to the game. They were really pressing Celtic. They were quite rough in the tackles, and that almost lifted Celtic's game to almost compete, because these games can be in the mindset of, oh, it's Raith Rovers, we're through already, and then it's when you get the sticky patches, you make lots of subs. But I thought they were quite professional today, and it was so good to see Daizen with Hatate. I'm so happy for him. Like, I know you love Kyogo, and you're saying in the videos, who am I going to put in the mural? Get him on. Just like change Kyogo's face a bit, and just put some like less hair, cut his Kyogo's hair, because Daizen is incredible. Like, I don't have the words. You're better at words than me, right? Your literal's better than mine. You can sum him up, because I just love him. He's so energetic. He's no the most
prolific as well.
But he's
just the most prolific.
But now he is like he's doing everything right. Like, and I think, is that him now over Kuhn on goals and assists? I think he might just be over him.
Certainly in goals.
But he's having such a good season, isn't he?
He's incredible. Stuart, we get perfect start to the game, really early goal, and you think after that could be any score at half time, but to be fair to Raith, they did sort of stifle it for the rest of the half before we get that second goal. But I thought Daizen Maeda, just to come at the first goal, takes a nice touch, and it's a lovely finish on his weaker foot, to just go the far post. I thought he was brilliant all afternoon again, wasn't he?
Daizen Maeda has taken away the kind of sorrow of Kyogo's departure a wee bit with these recent performances.
Really?
I think he's been absolutely magnetic. There's a word for you. Magnetic in terms of the way that he's gone about it, because he is the guy that has drawn defenders, he is the guy that has drawn the play towards him, and then as well as playing off him, he's the guy that's getting on the end of things. And it's just been a joy to see him kind of flourish. And as I said, addition by subtraction, it really, really does seem that he is relishing the challenge of trying to replace a guy that was a bit of a cult hero for Celtic.
You see him through the middle today, Callum. He obviously gets the hat-trick, but I know he plays there for the national team and stuff, but he's really suited to it, and he's in the right place at the right time, and finished really well today.
Has he changed your mind on that?
No.
Because you were obviously quite strong on the sense of, like,
I'm not saying that's a good reason not to sign a striker, if that's what you're asking.
No, I just mean as in, do you think he could play that role better than he plays his left wing role? Do you think if he played more regularly there, he would be an overall better player, and he adds more? Because, as in, I ask you that is because Kyogo is so good at the running from in behind on people's shoulders on the blind spots, where Daizen runs, but then he runs back and almost plays as an extra midfielder. He covers it really well, with Kyogo almost sometimes like sulked and then would walk back, but that's when he becomes alive again. Daizen Maeda offers something so unique and so different that when he was running and he never got the ball, he didn't like throw his arms up, he then ran back, and all of a sudden he was a left winger again, then he was like a 10 again, then he was a striker.
I think defensively in the bigger games he is more suited to playing wide because of what it gives you defensively, going back with a full back.
So in games like this, and then probably in Scottish games, he could be utilised as a striker if we ever get injuries. Like, everything that he's doing now is just working. Like, and that comes down to his effort more than anything, because he's technically not one of the best players at Celtic. He's not, but in moments that he can. And I think in moments this season, like against Rangers in the cup final, like that touch that he pulls out, 9 out of 10, that's hit me in the face in the crowd, but he pulls out, like, so he's got really good moments like that. But again, his first goal, I thought I was right behind it, and I thought he was actually going to drag his left foot into the corner, but he just opens his body and just curls it, and the keeper actually falls. I think he reads it the same way as I thought it was going to do, and he just puts it in, and he's so calm in that moment. And again, that's his second header now, like back to back. That obviously he got one in the last game, but he's just such a good player. Like I think he is going to be such a loss for Wednesday.
Oh, he's a huge miss for Wednesday. We'll maybe come back to that. Stuart, Yang gets the assist for Maeda's second goal. I thought he did well. He timed the pass well. I thought he'd maybe had an opportunity to shoot, but he got the pass right, squared it. He gets on the score sheet himself in the second half. A good ball for Alston at the back post, and he finishes it first time. Goals and assists are the thing that's really hampered him. He hasn't contributed enough of those, but good to see him on the score sheet today.
It's hopefully a confidence builder. That's what you've got to hope. I think with Yang, I've always felt, and I'll probably get pasted for this, but I've always felt there's something there, and even if that player isn't unlocked at Celtic, I think he might go back to Asia or go elsewhere in Europe and flourish, because I think there is talent there for sure. What there hasn't been is confidence, and there hasn't been cohesion with his teammates, and that's still something that's going to have to build. However, I think goals change everything for a player. Mindset. We're talking about Daizen Maeda adding goals and assists now. Like you mentioned in the video the other night, may well be challenging for that player of the year now, and really rising to that. For Yang, he's at a different stage of his kind of development and what he's maybe going to do at Celtic, and now James Forrest is obviously not about the now, so with that there is potentially the chance for him to maybe stake a claim to be at least a squad player that we can rely on.
Callum, a lot of good performances as well across the pitch. Thought McCowan played well. It's first start for Jeffrey Schlupp. Even seen Asalo in goals as well. No saves to make, but looked relatively sharp with the ball, his feet and stuff coming out.
On Luke McCowan, who is it? Is it Daizen Maeda's second goal? He does like that little kind of like pirouette turn. And he takes it so well, and then obviously he cuts it across the Daizen in the second half. Talking about Yang really quickly, is I'm probably somebody that maybe differs for sure, and I agree with what you say. I understand that, but I think, what is he, 22? I think he's 22 now, and I think under a Brendan Rodgers, and if you look at Brendan Rodgers over his 2 spells at Celtic, now he's been here for a year and a half now, and Yang's been here for that time as well. Any young player that Brendan Rodgers really likes and can coach always goes to a level. You've seen that as he's been here. Forrest was brilliant when he came through. And he was an older age, but I just think Yang, and I'm not criticising, I'm not picking on him. He gets a goal and he gets an assist, and that is really good. But we need more of it. It's Raith Rovers at the end of the day. It's Bayern Munich on Wednesday, and it's and I know it's not every week, but I think it could be a wee bit better. But again, on Sinisalo as well, for him, quiet, didn't really have anything to do. I think he came out for 2 crosses, didn't really test it. So it's a game that you don't get tested, and that's probably why Yang has maybe got a goal and assist. Can he do it in Bayern games? I'm maybe not sure, but hopefully he can. Prove me wrong.
That's definitely still to be seen. Stuart, Jota, I thought he might get a start today just to get him some more minutes. He came off the bench, thinking about turning our attention to Wednesday. You'd expect him to come back in. Maeda's going to be a massive miss for us, but we've just talked about his qualities, the goal scoring form he's in, but also what he gives you in terms of pressing at that level in a game of that magnitude. He's going to be a massive miss for us. Bernardo goes off injured today, so
that's a blow.
That is a blow, but again, as Callum says, probably McGregor, Engels, Hatate. Any other positions in the team that you think are maybe up for grabs on Wednesday?
Oh, that's a good question. Just to touch on what you said, I thought it was really interesting when Callum McGregor went off, because I was saying, right, who can actually come deep and play that role? And I was interested because you had 3 players that you thought would maybe be the ones that were kind of a step forward, if you like. And Arne Engels was the one that was dropping deeper to connect the play. I noticed that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if he does a bit more of that in the European game. In terms of positions up for grabs, I mean, is there an argument to say Jeffrey Schlupp? No, don't think so. No, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I thought he was good, but I mean, again, there's a level, and obviously we know that. I wouldn't throw him in there.
Even from a sharpness perspective, innit?
Aye, and we're already going to be carrying on Jota with the sharpness. Yeah. He has to play.
This is the thing, so I don't know if Jota's ready. In terms of his sharpness for a game like this, I know he's a player that we revere.
Against the ball, maybe.
But aye, that's tough. And the dynamism that they're going to show down the right-hand side, we need to be able to, their right-hand side, our left, we need to be able to deal with that. And the weakest of the defenders, and I mean, again, don't like criticising players that bluntly, but is Taylor, right, I would say. And then Trusty, it's that's the side where... that's the chink in the armour, and you're going to target us. So the fact that we don't have Maeda, it just changes the dynamic, how we're going to have to construct the team. Brendan is a clever tactician, and he's obviously got his way of playing, but I'm sure he's seen that against the really good teams, we have been vulnerable against the ball. And there was times even today, I thought the counter press was brilliant, but it was Raith Rovers, and what they would do is they would have tunnel vision. They wouldn't see the guy that's sparing the left-hand side, and they play it down the right, and the chance for a break is gone. In Europe, teams will be absolutely on it, and they will do that. So I think for Celtic, there's a couple of things that they need to do. They need to keep possession well, and that's where somebody like Rio Hatate is absolutely invaluable, because he is the sharpest at changing his body, keeping the ball. So Celtic are going to need that. In terms of other things up for grabs, it's basically how you construct the front three, isn't it? Like that's the bit that's going to be intriguing. Midfield, I think, is pretty set unless Bernardo, unless it's not that bad. But we'll need to wait and see what the situation is there.
Aye, Callum, we obviously need huge performances for every day on Wednesday to be in a chance and to get a scoreline that gives us anything to play for in the second leg. What do you make of the line-up Wednesday? I think it's straightforward.
I think it's straightforward, and hopefully Schmeichel's back. I know he says he's got a little back, but I think he'll be back. He'll be all right. And again, you're going to have the same back four: the Johnson, Carter Vickers, Trusty, Taylor. I think Taylor's actually. I think he'll get picked because I think they'll play Leroy Sané out in the right wing. Leroy Sané loves to come in all the time, and obviously Taylor plays that inverted role where he's comfortable in that. In that position, where I don't know if Schlupp's so used to that so much, because at Palace he's more an out-and-out just left back if he was there when he played. So I don't really think Schlupp would be the answer, even though he's probably physically more as in
I don't
stature.
think he'll play either. I was just asking.
Aye, but I don't think he'll play again. You'll have McGregor, you'll have Hatate and Engels, and then you obviously have Kuhn, Ida and Jota. Jota's got to play. You've got to try and say to him 60 minutes, do your best, and then you're more than likely going to have to put Yang on to replace, because obviously Daizen's not there. The one spot, and I watched Bayern Munich on Friday there, I watched them, they're vulnerable at the left back. See the boy Guerreiro, used to play for Borussia Dortmund, Portuguese boy. He's small, he's like similar to Greg Taylor, quite small in stature. I've seen him countless times in lots of games that he's played for Dortmund and Bayern Munich, but obviously Alphonso Davies is out injured. He's going to miss the tackle at both legs, he'll miss both. So I looked at the Guerreiro. Kuhn's got to really have a massive performance. The Celtic are going to take it. And again, Bayern Munich 3 weeks ago lost 3-0 at De Kuip. So like it can be done. Am I saying it will be? It's two different things, and at this type of round, the big teams really put their foot down and take it to another level. Can we step up? Again, we've not been beat at home for a while now, and the likes of that, it's Atletico Madrid have came here, who I'd maybe say are on par with Bayern Munich as a team. So keep Harry Kane quiet, that would be one, and if you can keep the likes of Sané quiet, I think you've got a really good chance.
Last time Kuhn played against a former club, he performed alright, so let's hope we can do that again Wednesday. Stuart at Fir Park last week, Daizen Maeda was right in with a shout for man of the match. I think he had a goal and 2 assists. He was hands down man of the match the other night. He scored a hat-trick today. Is he hands down man of the match again today?
He absolutely is. I think the conversation is for who was the second best player for Celtic, and I thought Luke McCowan was the one that stuck out for me. I thought he was. I think we've got some really, and actually he's one that he's not going to get in the team, but he did his best to try and stake a claim, I thought, and I would definitely give him 20 minutes if the kind of way the game is sitting is right in midweek. But Daizen Maeda he's levelling up, man.
Yes.
That's it. He's levelling up, so hopefully he can take that to the European stage.
Yeah, Daizen
Maeda, and quickly, I would try and get him down on another contract. I really would. I'd make him one of the top earners at the club, because I think he's so crucial. What is he, 26, 27?
27, yeah.
So he's running that age, he's getting right into his prime, as you say. He's levelling up, and gutter that he's not going to be there on Wednesday, but hopefully
second leg, that's what I was meaning.
Hopefully we can get it. I'm buzzing for Wednesday, but this is what we played all those games for, the losses, but can't wait for Wednesday.
Can't wait. Full house for Daizen again. Like the video, gives your own thoughts today's game below, and we'll see you for the build up to the big one during the week. Cheers.